Today, two of the top powers in the American Conference are matched, featuring two of the game's best quarterbacks. In Week 1, the Broncos' John Elway couldn't beat the Heat in Los Angeles, but he led Denver to two last-play victories the following two games. For the Bills, Jim Kelly, frustration came Week 2 when Buffalo was smothered by the Dolphins 30-7. But the Bills rebounded last Monday night, giving both these teams 2-1 records. Both Denver and Buffalo boast phenomenal offensive weapons at quarterback and running back. The NFL's number 2 rusher is Bronco Bobby Humphrey with 285 yards in 3 games. Number 1 in the NFL is the Bills' Thurman Thomas, who ran for 214 yards against the Jets Monday night. At wide receiver, 2 showcase players are featured. Denver's Vance Johnson is a game breaker whose heroics have helped the Broncos in both their victories this year. While Andre Reed of Buffalo is simply one of the very best in the game. A showcase indeed as coaches Dan Reeves and Marv Levy are ready to match strategies in the NFL's Game of the Week.
NBC Sports presents the National Football League. Today, it's the Denver Broncos versus the Buffalo Bills.
Overcast in Buffalo. There has been rain this morning. The field is wet. It appears to be clearing now as the Broncos and the Bills are ready to tee it up. Good afternoon, everyone. On a big game day in Buffalo, Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy. A year ago, the Broncos came in here on a Monday night as an underdog and soundly beat the Bills 28-14. And the Bronco players say that was a turning point in their season. It really brought them together, kicked them to a higher level for a run at the Super Bowl. The quarterbacks, Trump, get a lot of press. Kelly and Elway, and well, they should, but these teams would like to run the ball if they can.
No question about it, and they have the people to run the ball, too. Of course, the running game keeps the defense honest and keeps the pressure off the quarterback. And for the Denver Broncos, Bobby Humphrey has been a whale of a find. He's got 2 straight 100-yard rushing performances. His average carry last week probably overshadowed by Thurman Thomas and his performance on Monday night, close to 12 yards a carry. These two guys must keep the other team's defense honest.
The Bills' defense is called non-stop pressure by Coach Walt Corey, their defensive coordinator. He wants the heat on the opposing QB all game long. They got the guys that can keep it on.
Oh, man, these guys are a double dose of disaster. You got Biscuit Cornelius Bennett on the outside, on one side, and Bruce Smith on the other side. And, of course, one of the secrets to stopping Denver is keeping Elway in the pocket. Walt Corey thinks these two guys can get the job done.
The Broncos probably have the best set of safeties in the National Football League, and Steve Atwater and Dennis Smith, they both were out with injuries last week against Seattle. Today, they're both back.
Yeah, these guys are as big as linebackers. They play all over the field. And Smith has the sprained ankle still bothering him, but he's fine. Atwater has the pulled muscle in his ribcage, and he's okay. And that's got to make Denver fans feel good. Both those guys are there.
Broncos come in again as an underdog this year, but John Elway says we're confident we can move the ball on Buffalo. And now the Denver Broncos, as you look at Coach Dan Reeves, are ready to receive to start the game. They've won the toss. Bills getting set to kick it off. There's Coach Marv Levy of the Buffalo Bills in his 4th full season as head coach of the Bills. Dan Reeves now in his 10th year as the head man of the Broncos. Alton Montgomery and Sammy Winder are back deep. Last year it was 28-14. Second game of the season. Denver the victor. Here's the kickoff downfield. Winder is backpedaling into his end zone, and he'll not bring it out. So John Elway and the Broncos will go on offense 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line. Over the years, the Broncos are 3-3 here at Buffalo. Gerald Perry at left tackle. Reeves says he could be a great player. Jariga, Karts, Waddell, and Lanier, the rest of the offensive line. Elway at quarterback. Steve Sewell, standout pass catcher out of the backfield. Bobby Humphrey, the runner. When the passing downs come, Ricky Nattil and Michael Young will come in to join Vance Johnson and Mark Jackson. Tight end Clarence Kay. They'll go to double tight end sets a lot with Mobley in. And running the ball is Bobby Humphrey. They run counters and a lot of draw plays to Humphrey. Jeff Wright and Leon Seals were on the stop. There's the defensive front. Bruce Smith, consensus all-pro at right end. He'll be all over the field. Bennett, Conlon, Bentley, and Talley, 4 terrific linebackers. In the secondary, Jackson and Odoms are at the corners. Leonard Smith, a hard hitter, and Mark Kelso are the deep backs. Chris Hale and the rookie #1 draft choice, James Williams, will come in on the nickel package. Looks like Gerald Perry, the left tackle, is injured, Trump. Gerald Perry shaken up. Now this is a tackle that's going to spend most of the day, if he's okay, going against Buffalo's best rusher, Bruce Smith. But right now Perry coming off, apparently turned his ankle. Dan Reeves absolutely raving about this kid, Trump, about where he's going to be as a player. He said he could be as good as anybody that ever played the position that he's been around, that Dan Reeves has been around.
Major problem because the Denver Broncos are not deep. The Denver Broncos are not deep at offensive line, and the injury to Perry is a huge problem for them on the first play.
So after a 4-yard run by Bobby Humphrey, the Broncos now go 2nd down and 6. Here's Elway against the big rush. Gets the ball away. Nicely done as he gets it to Orson Mobley. A huge tight end. Big rush. Cornelius Bennett was coming on a blitz on the left side, and Elway very coolly stood in and then led his tight end perfectly. Very close to a first down. It looks like the nose of the ball will be just short.
You can see what the Buffalo Bills are going to start with today. They're going to immediately put pressure on John Elway as best they can. That time Cornelius Bennett untouched, but they still make the completion.
3rd down and about a foot. Broncos have really developed a power running game. And here's their ace, Bobby Humphrey. He dives across the 30, and it looks like he's just got the first down for Denver. Bruce Smith was on the tackle. Bobby Humphrey, now in his 2nd year from Alabama, 6'1", 200 pounds. He was the NFL Rookie of the Year in '89. He's run the ball this season, as you see, 55 times coming into this game. The rest of the team combined has run it 25 times, so he's it for the running game. We apologize, Mr. Trumpy's mic not in working order. Is it going now, Trump?
I think so.
You're ready. Here's Elway on a sprint out. The rush is coming. Elway downfield with a perfect throw, and that's the matchup that the Broncos wanted to get. Steve Sewell against Smith, the Buffalo strong safety, Leonard Smith.
They can do that out of formation, where they can single Steve Sewell with Leonard Smith. Now, Leonard Smith is a great tackler, but out there as a cornerback, that's a tremendous mismatch. You can see he's going to give an awful lot of ground. That's a 17-yard completion. That's something that Denver is looking for and will go to all day long. That is a matchup that the Bills cannot win today. Sewell on Smith.
Steve Sewell again is out wide against Leonard Smith at the top of your screen, as the Broncos moving the ball nicely in their opening possession. Humphrey. And Bobby Humphrey breaks through the Buffalo defense inside the 45-yard line. Invariably, they go to Humphrey on 1st and 10 plays. Ray Bentley filled and made the stop at linebacker.
On the change on the offensive line is 69, Darrell Hamilton in for Gerald Perry. We have no idea what the injury is to Gerald Perry, but you see the cutback by Bobby Humphrey that Dan Reeves loves. Great sight as a running back. That old line about running to daylight. This kid does it in grand fashion.
Now they bring Sewell into the backfield. Open set behind Elway. On a 2nd down and 3. Sewell. He appears to have yet another Denver first down. John Elway told us yesterday that the offensive line of this Denver team is the best he's seen since he's been with the Broncos, now in his 8th year. But as pointed out, Gerald Perry went out on the first play from scrimmage with what appeared to be an ankle injury. Limped off. Whether or not we'll see him back, we haven't heard yet.
He's trying to walk it off on the sideline, and he certainly realizes his importance in the game plan against Buffalo, stopping Bruce Smith.
Okay.
First down and 10 for the Broncos. No score, first quarter. Draw play. Humphrey. And Bobby Humphrey breaks it inside the 30-yard line. He gains 12 yards and another Bronco first down. So the Broncos just dismantling the Bills defense, a 12-yard gain.
And you mentioned earlier that the Broncos like to run a lot of things, including the draw from behind the defense. You'll see the way this sets up. There's nothing fancy about it. Good lead block by Sewell, 30 on Shane Conlon. And with Bobby Humphrey, you can't tackle him with your arms. You got to hit him with his shoulder.
4 carries so far.
25 yards for Humphrey.
And the Broncos drive on after taking the opening kickoff starting from their 20. Sewell on a slant. And good news for the Broncos, Gerald Perry is back in the game at left tackle. So apparently he walked off whatever the injury was. Big number 60, Gerald Perry. 295 pounds.
Who Dan Reeves complimented a great deal last night when we talked with him. He said that he's gotten his life together off the field and is a changed personality and is a big contributor to this offensive line. But still, first play of the game, something goes wrong. He's still limping, too. He is limping big time on his right leg. So I don't know if he's healthy enough to handle Bruce Smith.
They got Bruce Smith right over him now. As you see, second down. Broncos need 8. Play fake. Elway throws to the open man. Sewell out of the backfield. And he's down inside the 20, down close to the 16-yard line. Take a look now, Trump, at Gerald Perry. See how he's moving.
9-yard completion there. They're rolling away from Bruce Smith. Let's see if we can see any effect on this. And he lets Bruce Smith inside. You don't want to do that. But the completion is made, and he's not healthy. He's out there going on guts right now, hoping this thing works itself out. We don't know if it's an ankle or knee injury, but it's a big injury.
Elway going to a shorter pass route offense. He threw 40 times in the win over Seattle last Sunday at Mile High. A lot of short routes. Fake. Humphrey, delayed draw, and Bobby Humphrey is down to the 5-yard line. On a 1st and 10 play, Humphrey rips through the Bills for a 10-yard gain, and Nate Odom starts up. In his wisdom, he could soon be out of the game with an ejection, going after an offensive lineman, a 12-yard gain on the play.
Well, they caught Buffalo in a blitz.
Kay, the tight end, was mixing it up.
Shane Conlon, 58, comes right up the middle. They run the draw right by him. Watch 58. Again, a good block by Steve Sewell, and Humphrey just goes around that block. This has been relatively easy for the Bronco offense against this defense.
Broncos slicing the Bills defense apart on this opening drive. First down and goal, Denver. Humphrey down to the 1-yard line. Very tied together in cohesion offensive blocking by the Broncos. Cornelius Bennett, 97, made the stop.
Interesting thing that Denver does is their offensive linemen stand up, and they give the running backs the option to find the hole themselves. And they just basically take the defense where it wants to go on an awful lot of occasions. They take very tight splits, and they try to hide that running back behind these huge offensive linemen, and it works.
Power set. Bobby Humphrey, close, and he's in.
How about that for a start? 80-yard drive. Whoa.
So the Broncos go through the Bills looking like Super Bowl winners. Absolutely standout play by Denver.
Look at this push. Mel Bratton with a good block. Bruce Smith was knocked all the way back in the end zone. Once that ball crosses the plane of the goal line, it is a score.
And in that opening drive, Trump, we have a long way to go, but the Bills gave no indication they could stop anything Denver does. We knew they wanted the matchup of Sewell against the free safety Leonard Smith. They got big plays out of that. But they got it with their base offense. The Bobby Humphrey runs, and now the extra point by Pro Bowler David Treadwell is up and good. With 8:10 to play in the first quarter, the Bills have not yet had the ball, and the Broncos move out to a 7-0 lead. We'll be back with the Denver kickoff in a moment.
This Oldsmobile got 16 highway miles a gallon.
There you see the scoring drive. Don, the most impressive part of that, Bobby Humphrey had 7 carries for 41 yards. That's close to 6 yards a carry on the opening drive of the game.
Check that Bobby Humphrey haircut. His teammate Mel Bratton does the cutting. Bratton broke his finger last week. Humphrey said he might fire him till it gets better. Here's a kick downfield. They send a bouncer at the Buffalo Bills. Picking up the ball is Don Smith, and he takes it out across. He's not done yet. Smith is all the way out to the 30-yard line. So now, as down to make the play was Randy Robbins, number 48 for Denver. The Bills come out, and let's see what Kelly and his offense can do. Glenn Parker starting at left tackle for injured Will Wolford, one of the Bills' best linemen. Parker is a very good rookie. Richer, Hall's a Pro Bowler. On the right side, Davis and Ballard. Thurman Thomas, the NFL's leading rusher. Jamie Mueller's his blocker. Lofton and Reed, the wide receivers. Metzlar's the tight end, will come out on the 3-wide set. Don Smith will come in the backfield. Steve Tasker will go to wide receiver. Kelly fires on first down. Wide open man. He makes the connection to James Lofton. First down, Buffalo. A 12-yard gain on the play. Bills go into that hurry-up offense. They've been using it more and more. Going into alignment without a huddle. The fans like that. One of the biggest NFL crowds of the year. 80,000 are here at Rich Stadium. Been long sold out. Trying to keep the Broncos from making defensive changes. Here's a carry by Thurman Thomas. On a first down play, he's ahead to about the 42-yard line.
Kelly told us also that he likes the hurry-up offense, especially here in Buffalo, because the fans like it so much. He's trying to kick-start the offense and lock the defense into one coverage.
Still in that hurry-up. Bills did not huddle. Elway's concerned. He calls a lot of audibles, but this crowd can take you out of him. Here's a rush on Kelly. He gets away. Simon Fletcher had him and lost him, and now Kelly's out to the 44-yard line. Simon Fletcher put the big heat on Jim Kelly, and then a rookie, Jim Shemansky from Michigan State, a 10th-round draft choice who's starting.
I don't know how Fletcher misses him. Kelly is a big quarterback and got great leg strength, but Simon Fletcher just missed him cleanly, and Shemansky cleans up, and the Bills go right back to the line of scrimmage.
Now play call, third down. The Bills need almost 8. Kelly gets time, runs out of it, gets the ball away, and it's not even close, and the Buffalo Bills have to punt it.
Boy, there's great coverage by Denver. Outstanding coverage by Denver. You can see Jim Kelly look like he's going to throw it, bring it back about 3 or 4 times. He had no receiver even close to being open.
Kyle Mecklenburg, Trump, got some heat on Kelly. He forced that errant throw, and the coverage, as you point out, was very good. Rick Tootin into punt now. Vance Johnson is back to return it. Denver leads the game 7-0. An 80-yard, 12-play drive to open the ball game. Here's Vance Johnson with room to run. Buffalo's normally effective special teams have been short-circuited by poor punting this season. So the Broncos, as some boos start to cascade down, send their offense back out. A 36-yard punt, but a net of 22. A 14-yard return by Vance Johnson. Elway set to go to. With Bob Trumpy, this is Don Trickey back at Rich Stadium. 80,000 look on. Sun breaking through now as Elway leads the Broncos again. Humphrey running hard, and he's not done until he gets across the 40-yard line on a first down carry. A gain of about 6 yards on the play. Leon Seals, number 96, having a big year at left end, made the tackle. But on every down, Trump, these Broncos get plus yardage.
Yeah, the offensive line performance by the Denver Broncos to this point in the game, unbelievably impressive. They're standing right up and pushing these guys right off the line of scrimmage. Of course, the inexperienced part of this defense is at the nose tackle inside. Seals and the nose tackle don't really have a lot of years. Jeff Wright.
Elway on a sprint out, takes a look, and John Elway dances ahead for a first down and steps out. Shane Conlon ran him out of bounds along the other inside linebacker. Elway's stronger than he's ever been. He's been on a weight program, but he's the lightest he's been since he's been in the NFL. Told us yesterday he's down to about 211.
Had an excellent preseason, had a good offseason, got away from Denver for a while, kind of rejuvenated his thoughts. The secret to this point in the ball game, Don, first down yardage by the Broncos. They can get 6 or 7 yards per first down, and the defense of the Bills can't turn their pass rush loose.
Another first down for Denver. Broncos lead 7-0. They've owned the ball here in the first quarter. Humphrey looks for room to dance and gets across the 50 down to the 47-yard line. Bobby Humphrey was passed up by 16 other teams when he went in the supplemental draft because of foot injuries at Alabama.
And I mentioned the tight splits by the offensive line and the just stand up, take them where they want to go approach by this offensive line. It's certainly worked. They're pushing them all over the place. That time you saw Bruce Smith standing up almost as like a middle linebacker.
Look at these numbers for Humphrey now. 9 carries already.
53 yards.
Bobby Humphrey comes in averaging over 5 yards a carry for the season. He talked about how all these teams passed him up. Dan Reeves said it was really our doctors who finalized the decision we were going to take, and they said his foot won't be a problem.
And the fact that he just doesn't have that blazing speed as a running back.
And as Reeves said, if he did have that blazing speed, we wouldn't have him.
That's
One
correct.
of the other 16 that Taft would have taken him even with a foot problem. Bobby Humphrey rips into open field and takes it down to the 29-yard line. Free ball. Buffalo has it. If indeed it's a fumble, he wasn't down first. Nate Odoms was on the ball. We'll see or not whether they rule that it was a fumble.
No signal yet.
17-yard run by Bobby Humphrey.
Bob McElwee is the referee, and I haven't seen a signal yet, Don.
Looks like the Bills have the ball. They do. Nate Odoms comes up with it. Number 37.
But now they finally give a signal that it's Buffalo's ball. They get the defense spread out all over the field, Don, and Buffalo comes in with the extra defensive backs, and there's just no one there to stop. Yeah, that's a fumble, no question about it.
Kelso looked like he may have stripped the ball. Mark Kelso, the free safety. So a turnover stops this Denver drive when again the Broncos were moving the ball as if they were unstoppable. They were on that opening drive. 80 yards, 12 plays. Humphrey on the payoff end for the touchdown.
Being reviewed, was one of his knees down? That's going to be the big question. Oh, the play stands. Bob McElwee says the play stands. Again, Leonard Smith, 46, 38. Kelso make the hit. No question. Ball is loose. Turnover to Buffalo.
Bill's second possession. You'll remember they got a 12-yard pass play for a first down to Lofton. That was it for their first offense. Now Thurman Thomas looks for room and finds some. He's out to about the 32-yard line. Gain of just about 3. Carl Mecklenburg, who's been to the Pro Bowl 4 of the last 5 years. Number 77 for the Broncos was on the stop. Front 7, Powers, Cragen, and Szymanski. Fletcher, Munford, Michael Brooks, who had 20 tackles in last Sunday's game with Seattle, and Mecklenburg. Brooks is a player to watch, number 56. Smith and Henderson at the corners. Smith and Atwater are back as the safeties. Then you saw the extra people that come in when they go to their 7-man defensive alignment. 7 defensive backs. Kelly swings it out. This is Jamie Mueller. Blockers in front of Mueller, who's not fast, but he's strong. Takes it very close to a first down. Be 3rd and short if he didn't get there. Let's check the 10-minute ticker. Nothing up for the Giants and Cowboys. Miami's gone in front of the Steelers at Pittsburgh. Detroit up on the Green Bay Packers. Tampa Bay's Gary Anderson scored at Minneapolis. Bucks lead the Vikings 7-0 in the first quarter. Same number we have here. The Broncos in front of the Bills 7-0. Here's a measurement. Broncos trump a very confident team. That was evident from Dan Reeves through every player you talk to. They know if they hang in, they have an ability to win close games. Last 2 weeks they had big fourth quarter leads, 28-14 over Seattle last week. The week before, 21-9 over Kansas City, and then had a rally to win.
Well, I think the offense of the Broncos realized too that because the defense is hurt, they got to score and score often to protect this defense. And opening drive of this game certainly bodes well for the Denver Broncos.
Kelly said something to Lofton, who's at the top of your screen as the wide receiver. Kelly's looking that way. Here's the throw. James Lofton can't quite get to the ball. Wide open. Kelly let him a little too much. He'll be going back to that. James Lofton, who at one time was a first-team All-Pro for the Green Bay Packers. For a while, a couple of years, he might have been the best player in the NFL at any position. He was that good.
This kid has not missed a game in his career. That's the double rotation zone. Corners up, safeties out. I have a feeling that Buffalo is going to try to take advantage of 28 Elliott Smith, 24 Wyman Henderson all day. Both Plan B players.
Bills got Lofton. He was waived by the Raiders. Thurman Thomas shows his stuff as he darts in and gets ahead for a gain of almost 10 yards on a second down play. The over 9 yards where they spot the ball brings up 3rd down and less than 1. Atwater, the strong safety, made the stop.
Certainly don't want to shortchange the offensive line of the Buffalo Bills. I consider one of the best. Big lead block by Jamie Mueller, 41. It's the defensive linebacker on his stomach, and Thurman Thomas, of course, very quick, excellent receiver, and sure-handed too.
Very good pass catcher. 3rd and 1. Extra tight ends in. They go to Jamie Mueller, and he gets there. He needed a yard, and he got 2. And so the Bills get a first down. Andre Townsend, number 61, was in the game. He was the first hitter.
Townsend's not played in a while. Had foot problems. Of course, Jamie Mueller. Now you see Townsend down there in the middle of that huddle. This is not a huge defensive line. but it's a one-gap defense. And a one-gap defense, you don't take on the whole man in front of you. You're responsible for a gap on either side of you. So they can be small and still be effective.
Kelly played fake, buys some time, open man downfield, and it's almost picked off. He had Lofton running free, and he also had one of the tight ends, Keith McKellar, running free, but the ball was off target. There is a strong crosswind here in western New York. It's going to affect the kicking game and the deep throwing game.
Now that was zone coverage by the Denver Broncos, and frankly Jim Kelly should have thrown that ball a little better. That would have been an easy completion. To this point he's 2 of 5 for 18 yards, but that's one he should have had right there.
See Old Glory straight out in the wind, and it'll pick up. Good playing conditions. Sun breaking through. Kelly throws on second down. He has an open man, and nicely done. Thurman Thomas turns out on Steve Dennis Smith and makes the reception. A 12-yard gain by Thomas and a first down for Buffalo.
Now you see both offenses doing the same thing. Out of formation and motion, they're trying to get the safeties to cover running backs. The Denver Broncos did it. Sewell on Leonard Smith. This time you see Thurman Thomas do it on Dennis Smith, the strong safety, not used to being out there in single coverage.
Mueller gets the ball. Free ball, and the Broncos have it. Jamie Mueller, who doesn't get much work carrying the ball, has it knocked free, and the Broncos are on it. Cornerback Elliott Smith, number 28. And the Bills are stopped as Smith makes the fumble recovery.
It looks like Greg Craig, the nose tackle, 71, makes the first contact. And the ball is already loose. Yeah, it's Craig, 71 at the bottom of the pile. Somehow it pops loose. Turnover is now even. Denver has the ball back. Let's see if we can see again. See, Craig beats Ken Hull, the center, and pops that ball loose. And the cornerback Elliott Smith right there for the recovery.
Broncos have always been well schooled at stripping the ball. Mueller had both arms on it. Their last possession. Take over again. Their third possession now for Denver. Broncos lead the game 7-0. Humphrey having a big day, and it gets bigger as he runs ahead for more yards. Now out to about the 39-yard line. Now let's go to NFL Live and Bob Costas. Bob?
All right, Don, last Sunday against the Giants, as they were completely thwarted by the New York defense, Miami kept the ball for only 90 seconds in the first quarter. Here, on their first drive against Pittsburgh, they have it for 17 plays, better than 8 minutes. Sammy Smith goes over from the 1, and they lead 7-0 at Three Rivers. Don?
Thank you, Bob. Dolphins developing a good running game after all those years of just the throw. Here's Elway with a fastball, but it comes in on the one hop. He played in the Yankee organization one after his junior year at Stanford. John Elway played outfield for the Oneonta Farm Club in central New York State and was very serious about baseball at one point.
It looked like Cornelius Bennett gets his hand up. This is a quick 3-step drop by John Elway. You should look from behind the defense, right behind Ray Bentley, number 50. Here we go. Bennett just tipped that ball away.
They're down as the Bills bring their defenders up tight to bump at the line of scrimmage. Here's the rush on Elway. John Elway can go, and he's on his way. John Elway sprints ahead for the first down and slides to a halt as John Elway makes big things happen. The coverage was good, the rush was on, and Elway does it himself. A 13-yard gain and a Bronco first down.
Actually, the Buffalo Bills do a great job here. They stay in their pass rush lanes. You'll see Smith on this side, Bennett on the other side. Now the inside guys, Seals and Fields, are supposed to contain him. Or excuse me, Jeff Wright. But Elway, very, very quick of foot, very nifty, is able to avoid the inside pass rushers for a big pickup and another first down.
36, and Elway got 13 on the run. Penalty marker. Sammy Winder runs the ball and doesn't get much. In fact, he may have lost a yard. Bruce Smith struck him head on.
Don, I think something happened to Bobby Humphrey. No, he's coming back in, but he went out for a play, and he was limping a little bit. Illegal motion. There he is. We got Gerald Perry with a bad ankle, and now Humphrey.
2 minutes motions. Offense. Penalty decline. Second down.
28 seconds to play in the first quarter. The Broncos took the opening drive 80 yards on 12 plays.
Don, here's the offensive formation now that Humphrey had the big draw play on. There are 2, 4, 5, 6 defensive backs in the ball game. This is when they gave it to Humphrey for the draw for the big play.
2nd and 12, and a draw play it is as Humphrey gets ahead for a gain of about 5 yards. He's outside and inside the 45-yard line of the Bills, down to the 44.
It certainly looks like what they're going to do is anytime Buffalo gets in that nickel package, Humphrey's going to be firing up through there.
So there's timeout on the field at the end of the first quarter with the Denver Broncos in the lead 7-0.
They're defensively to make the tackle. Here it is again.
Broncos need 7, as you see. 3rd down.
Blitz.
Elway. Hard throw, but there's a penalty marker down at the line of scrimmage. And these guys are really starting up after Leon Seals and Doug Weidel were knocking each other around.
No play.
Play is negated. Illegal motion against the Broncos before the snap of the ball. They'll get a 5-yard penalty and have to do the play over.
This is Susan Erlab and Mr. Neil Ritz. Please report to Southside Security.
Well, it certainly looks like Denver's going to stay.
15 minutes even.
Yeah, that was a dead ball play, so it's got to go back. It's as if the ball was never snapped. But Denver is staying with this offensive set. Look, they got the 4 wide receivers, and Buffalo has its standard defense in, so now this is where you throw.
Buffalo brings almost 8 people onto the line with the cornerbacks up tight. Smith came early. Replay indeed for John Elway. Downfield throw, and it's a connection to Ricky Nattiel inside the 30 and down to the 27-yard line of the Bills. It'll go.
Don, the Bills defensive backs drop coverage. 22 yards on the catch.
Offside. And 97 defense. Penalties decline. 1st down.
Boy, I tell you,
Bennett looked like Smith jumped.
you had your choice. Here's the receiver that catches the ball, but watch the defensive backs drop coverage. I think they see that it's a free play after they jump off sides. Elway, with plenty of time, stays looking for Nattiel. When he breaks across, wide open.
Humphrey taken down by Cornelius Bennett and Ray Bentley. Bennett with that great speed. They align him all over. He'd be on either side. They don't want to give the blockers any primary indication of where he's going to line up, and Smith is moving around a lot more this year.
Well, that's Humphrey's 11th carry, and he's approaching 75 yards already rushing in this game.
We'll check the scoreboard after the next play, as right now the ball is positioned at the Bills' 28-yard line. 2nd down and 9 coming up for the Broncos. Elway fakes. Here comes the rush. Good throw by Elway, but Bratton couldn't make the turn and the catch, so it's incomplete. As we check the 10-minute ticker now, Mel Bratton from Miami of Florida. Pittsburgh now down by 14 points as the Steelers through a 4th week of play with yet an offensive touchdown scored by their team. Detroit leading Green Bay. Colts up on the favored Eagles. Tampa Bay continues to lead. Here in Buffalo at 7-0 Denver in the 2nd quarter. Broncos went 12 plays, 80 yards in the opening drive. Bobby Humphrey from a yard out for the touchdown. 3rd down. Elway and the Bronx need almost 10. Draw play, and they stuff it. Bills read it all the way. Jeff Wright, the nose tackle, 91.
Well, they finally stop it. They got the same formation.
It's a tough field goal try now for Treadwell.
But still, they run the same formation, try to spread the defense out. They got 6 defensive backs in a ball game, and Jeff Wright is unblocked. There to get Bobby Humphrey. That's the first minus yardage the Denver Broncos have had today.
Gary Kubiak will hold a 50-yard attempt for David Treadwell, who led the American Conference in scoring last year and went to the Pro Bowl.
This would be a great spot for a fake.
Kubiak's the quarterback. Blocked. Bills have the ball. James Williams, the rookie top draft choice, takes it out across the 40 and gets it to the 45-yard line. And that really keys the Buffalo team, and 80,000 who are up and cheering.
Darryl Talley makes the block.
So the Bills stop the Broncos drive, and Buffalo goes on offense when we come back.
Here's the block. Darryl Talley gets his hand on it, and look who the wingman is. Rick Dennison, cut and just brought back this week. He goes outside too quickly. Talley makes the block.
Talley, the Bills say, grades out as one of the 2 or 3 best players in the team every season. Never seems to get the credit outside of Buffalo as the Broncos sweep under. Thurman Thomas trying to go wide, and Denver was reading 34 all the way. Carl Mecklenburg was on the play along with Steve Atwater. Boy, Atwater's the kind of guy you want in your team. He shows up smiling. Just can't wait to play, can he?
Yeah, he told us last night that last year he played at 217. This year he weighs 220. Picked up some strength and some speed. And this guy's a prototype. I mean, everybody'd like to have one of him at least.
Went to Arkansas. He's from St. Louis. His mother was from Arkansas, and he's always fond of the state and the school. Here's Kelly throwing wide open and losing the ball at the tight end, Keith McKellar, right in his hands. Now let's go to NFL.
In Philadelphia, the Colts trailing the Eagles 3-0. Jack Trudeau goes to work. Little flip out to Albert Bentley. He gets some good blocks, and he does some spectacular running. It's a 73-yard play and leads to a 5-yard Trudeau to Jesse Hester touchdown pass. And the Colts, without Eric Dickerson, and this week without Jeff George, leads 7-3 at Philly.
Thank you, Bob. Now the Bills go to the shotgun. They're down at 11. Lofton with a spectacular catch. James Lofton extending himself and takes it to the 37-yard line. An 18-yard gain on the play.
Wyman Henderson was the man in coverage, and Denver had the 47 defense in there. 4 rushers, 7 defensive backs. Kelly's looking all over the field. He finds single coverage over here, and Lofton with a very acrobatic catch for the first down.
So that keeps the Bills' drive alive. You remember their last sustained drive. Mueller fumbled the ball. He hasn't been back in since on offense. Here's a throw and a catch. With the ball is Andre Reed, an all-pro player last season, and he's inside to the 19-yard line. A gain of 18 yards on the play as Kelly, with a great fake, looks off the Denver defenders and then throws a strike to number 83.
Well, is this guy an all-pro? He's averaged 60-plus catches and 6 touchdowns a year for his career. And that really was a non-pattern. Just zone coverage. He goes up the seam, and Kelly finds him.
He's been terrific against Denver at 13 catches for almost 160 yards against the Broncos a year ago, did Andre Reed. For the Bills now, their first scoring threat. To the run they go, and Thurman Thomas is stopped as the Broncos, with a good defensive game plan, fill the gap. Big Warren Powers knocks down Thurman Thomas.
Along with Michael Brooks, 56.
Michael Brooks, 56 from LSU. Bill Arnsparger, the longtime Miami Dolphin defensive coordinator, later the head coach at LSU, said Michael Brooks was the best linebacking prospect he's ever seen. Then he had a serious knee injury in college. Now he's come back and is looking better than ever.
Last year he played outside and was a little lost. Inside he can just hammer people. And he's done that a lot so far.
Credited with 20 tackles against the Seahawks a week ago. Kelly on second down lost it into the end zone. Reed had a step on the defender, but Kelly just had to release the ball as the Broncos had a big rush on him. Warren Powers was coming hard.
Actually, that's a positive play. The Bills do not throw the interception. The blitz gets through there. You see Mecklenburg 77, Powers 91, but it just falls harmlessly into the end zone. Kelly now 5 of 10 for 67 yards. And you give that one to the defense and go back to your game plan.
Tough call now for Kelly and the Bills as the Broncos show blitz. And it's coming as Kelly drops back on 3rd and 10 and cannot make the connection. And so the Bills drive stalls, and they'll send their kicker out. James Lofton, the intended receiver, but the Broncos had blitz pressure at Jim Kelly at the snap of the ball.
It sure looks like Denver is trying to double cover Thurman Thomas and Andre Reed and leave James Lofton in single coverage, and that's the guy that Kelly is looking for most consistently.
Scott Norwood has hit 7 of 10 field goal attempts this season. One of the NFL's most consistent place kickers. 37-yard attempt. He spins it up. Goes to hits the crossbar, and it's no good. So the Bills come away with nothing, and the Broncos continue to lead the game 7-0 with 9:59 to play in the first half. Back after this. At the moment, Bobby Humphrey is the NFL's leading rusher. He has 76 yards and 14 carries a day. As he runs again, penalty marker comes in. Could be an offensive holding call as the umpire threw in the flag. Shane Conlon, 58, was on the stop. Thurman Thomas has only 12 yards on 5 carries for the Bills. Humphrey, that was his 15th carry for he's about 80 yards now. That play will come back.
Holding. 66. Offense. 10 yards. First down.
Jim Juriga, the left guard, was called for the hold.
And it's going to be interesting to see what Buffalo does here defensively. Do they put in the extra defensive backs? When they have, Denver's taking good advantage of it. Look, they're staying with their standard defense. Straight 34 defense. They got to rely on the pass rush here.
Elway with that extra dimension that sets him apart, his ability to run. We saw him do it on a 3rd down play before for a first down. To the draw, and the Bills shut it down. Humphrey gets ahead for some, but not much. He's to about the 14-yard line on a 1st down and 20 play. So it will now be 2nd down and about 16 as Leon Seals, 96, made the stop.
Don, once again, 2nd down and about 14 yards, and Buffalo, because Denver's had so much luck against their nickel package, staying with their straight defense.
8:55 to play, first half. Broncos lead the game 7-0. Elway dumps it off to Sewell, who's on the run. And Steve Sewell breaks it. He's got a first down and more as he's out across the 35-yard line. Tremendous execution by the Broncos on 2nd down, and they needed about 16. They get 22.
This is a well-conceived play because Steve Sewell starts out helping the offensive left tackle block on Bruce Smith, and that fools the defense. And then once he gets by there, see the linebackers drop off. This is well executed by the Denver Broncos. He outruns Jeff Wright, the nose tackle. Once he turns upfield, big first down. Huge play by Denver.
Doug Waddell gave him a lot of blocking, too. He led the way. So the Broncos go 1st down and 10. Elway sees that there's no completion there, that if he hit his receiver, he's been hit for a loss. So he wisely grounds the ball, but within the rules. It's an incomplete pass. He had no intention of completing that.
Tried the slip screen, and he could see that, watch 97, is Cornelius Bennett. He's right out there, so Elway just sacrifices the play, throws it into the ground. Hey, we go back, try another one. I think that's part of the maturity of John Elway. He now does things like that to protect him and also to help the team.
Since he's been the starter, the Broncos have won 72 games, lost 38, and tied 1. Elway's caught, but he gets away. Throws downfield and makes the connection. Vance Johnson makes a diving reception. Darrell Talley had him and lost him as Elway eluded the rush again. Dallas now trailing the Giants 10-3. Miami continues to lead the Steelers by 2 touchdowns. Packers got a field goal, still trail at Pontiac, Michigan. No changes in those 2 scores. Colts up on the Eagles, Tampa Bay up on the Vikings.
Well, so far the Buffalo Bills defense has done very little to slow down Denver. They are using all of their game plan to this point, Don.
A lot of times they've been close to getting him, but Elway eludes him. Here's a run, and it's good yardage up the middle on 1st down, a gain of almost 5 yards. Shane Conlon makes the stop on Bobby Humphrey, who crossed midfield.
And that's the secret. You just said it. Gets good yards on 1st down. Jeff Wright he's out of the ball game now. There's something wrong with him, we'll find out. Hunter is in the ball game, 98, but that 1st down yardage by the Denver offense has really put the Buffalo Bills defense in trouble.
Third inning at Fenway. Blue Jays lead the Red Sox 4-1. Toronto wins. They'd be back to within one game of the leader in the American League East. Second down and 6 now for the Broncos. They lead 7-0. Their touchdown came on the opening drive of the game.
Look at
Humphrey, 200 pounds, but he runs with a ton of power. Breaking tackles. Leonard Smith finally knocked him down. First down, Broncos.
Oh, this is so far I give the game ball to the offensive line of the Denver Broncos. This is the counter, and you see Carlton Bailey, 54, missed the tackle. And Humphrey picks up another first down, and he's very close to 100 yards rushing with 6:06 to go in the first half.
No Bronco runner has ever rushed for 100 yards against the Bills.
Never had, I think might be the right word.
Right now, he just did. Bobby Humphrey is over 100 yards in the first half rushing against the Bills. Game clock down to 5:45 to play. Darryl Talley was on the stop on a first down carry. Humphrey's down to the 38-yard line.
This is remarkable. They are getting such a great push up front. The Denver Broncos offensive line. Let's give them credit. Karts, Wydell, Jariga, Lanier, and Perry. Man, they are really shoving Buffalo all over the field.
Bobby Humphrey's confident. He says, every time I touch the ball, I believe something big's going to happen. Humphrey again. This time they get him. Shane Conlon, a Pro Bowl backer, shot the gap and made the tackle. Gain of only about a yard on the play on second down and 5. Third and 3.
A gain of 1. Third and 4.
Jeff Wright came out just to get a little rest. The nose tackle for the Bills. They switched some people. Now Conlon comes out as the pass coverage unit goes in.
Okay, this is where Denver has really done an outstanding job against this defense with 6 defensive backs. No, they've changed. Buffalo. No, it's still 6 defensive backs. This is where they've really eaten them up, Don.
The dimension here that is that Elway scrambling ability. Big rush. Coming hard was Bruce Smith. Sewell was open, but Elway couldn't find the mark. Upset with himself. Bruce Smith was right on Elway, though, busting through, and that brings up 4th down and 4, and they send their punter out, Mike Horan.
Sewell was the hot receiver there, Don, and when there was pressure on John Elway, here's Sewell right here. He just runs a little flat, but Bruce Smith, you get an awful lot of pressure on him.
High punt downfield. Bills let it go, and it hops into the end zone for a touchback. Broncos had good coverage down to try and down the ball, but it bounced away from them.
Again, back to that last play. Here's Steve Sewell, and what they're trying to do is pick one of these guys and get Sewell out here in the flat. But unfortunately, there was so much pressure from Bruce Smith that Elway couldn't really come through on the pass and make the completion.
So the Bills will try again from their 20 with 4:23 to play in the first half.
Listen to my nephew. He's going to be a lawyer like me. He's even going to look like me.
Oh, really? So does that mean on his first big trial day, the jury's going to notice his winning smile?
Yeah.
And his great suit?
Yeah.
Oh, his little flakes.
No, dandruff? Me?
Oh, it can happen to perfect people. Here, just use my...
Who were involved in addition to tight end Zeke Moab. Will be going to NFL Live at halftime as Jim Kelly looks to throw on first down. Downfield throw. His receiver fell on the break. Andre Reed, and the ball came in low. 2nd and 10.
Well, the offensive game plan of the Bills not working at all. Not a bit. His numbers 5 of 12 for 67 yards. It just, they got to get Thurman Thomas in this ball game. There's Marv Levy.
Looking for answers. Coach Levy. Denver's had problems holding leads, though. As mentioned earlier, they led Seattle 28-14 in the 4th quarter last Sunday.
Look at that number. Oh.
Needed overtime to win. Swing pass. Thurman Thomas gets a block.
Fumble.
Loses the ball. Buffalo has it at the 21-yard line. Jim Richard, the left guard, fell on the ball. 51.
I don't know how to account for Buffalo after a stellar performance against the New York Jets last week, and also speaking of revenge against the Denver Broncos all week here in Buffalo, to come out and play less than stellar. I mean, home crowd, home field. This is a place where they've been spectacular over the last couple of 3 years. And to this point, Don, there's no other way to look at it. They are flat.
They've lost 2 games here, have the Bills, since the start of the '88 season. Over 2 seasons, just 2 losses at home. Third down throw by Jim Kelly, intercepted by Atwater. Steve Atwater picks it off. He looked like a wide receiver, and he's down to the 30-yard line. James Lofton, the intended receiver. So the Broncos strike on defense, get a second Bill turnover. .309 to play in the first half.
Here's Atwater, and this is the value of Atwater. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 defensive backs, and Atwater, watch him find this ball. He's reading Jim Kelly's eyes. They're just playing zone. What a play. And what a player.
And what field position for the Broncos, who have the ball at the Buffalo 30, first down and 10. 7-0 Denver. Oh, was caught. They're going to rule he caught it at the 5-yard line. I thought a penalty marker was thrown, but it wasn't. Humphrey did a tremendous job picking up the blitz for Denver. A blitzer came at Elway, and Humphrey decked him.
Kirby Jackson was the man in coverage, and this is the most incidental contact I've seen. There's Darryl Talley just flooring John Elway. But at the end of this play, Kirby Jackson and Vance Johnson get tangled up. Johnson stays with it and makes another. Boy, all the big plays on Denver's side so far.
Now they go first and goal from just outside the 5-yard line. Humphrey down close to the 2-yard line. Terrific play from the offensive front of the Broncos. Keith Kartz at center, Jariga and Waddell at the guards, Perry and Lanier the tackles. Tight end Clarence Kay, and Orson Mobley's been in a lot. Dan Reeves down to his playing weight. He's never looked better. Looks like he's ready to get his ankles taped and go and throw one of those halfback option passes he used to throw for Coach Landry.
I'm not sure he'd want to do that. It takes more than being in good shape to play this game nowadays. These guys are nuclear powered. When he played, it was diesels, but these guys are nuclear. Of course, Marv Levy never played the game.
Actually, he's a good college running back, Marv Levy. 2-minute warning is given. Back in western New York, nearby to the skyline of Buffalo, this stadium located in Orchard Park, New York. Buffalo, a boom city. Forbes magazine calls it one of America's boom towns with the free trade agreement with Canada. The Buffalonians talking proud.
Not about the performance of this football team in the first half. Today. I don't understand this.
United Way set to go to another record number. It has one of the highest contributors to the United Way of any campaign in America, under the aegis of Robert M. Bennett. Second down and goal now for Denver, and they call a timeout.
This is like a basketball timeout, you know. You go out there in the last play of the game, see what defense they got, go back and design another play.
So Coach Reeves is going to talk it over with his quarterback, John Elway. These guys are doing it all right. Keep on doing what you're doing, John, says Reeves. We have 2 minutes to play in the first half. We'll be joining Will and Bob and O.J. We'll jump off the picture board into live action with an update on all that's going on around the NFL. Sunday number 4. Second and goal, Denver. Touchdown, Broncos. On a slant counter play, Steve Sewell goes in. And the Broncos extend their lead over the favored Bills to 13-0.
You could see what John Elway was doing there. It's an audible at the line of scrimmage and a nice trap. That's Jariga 66 with a big kick out block, and Sewell has no one in front of him. It's an easy score. Nice block also by one Bobby Humphrey, who has played a nice all-around game. Sewell scores and Humphrey blocks.
A bit of an understatement. A nice all-around game. Humphrey has been absolutely extraordinary. He's over 100 yards rushing, and now he's blocking like a tiger. And the extra point is good, and so the Broncos extend their lead to 14-0. Denver, Bob Trumpy struggled the first 3 weeks of the season. Today, They look like the Super Bowl team they were projected to be again.
They are struggling in no aspect of this particular football game in the first half. And frankly, I think that the locker room of the Buffalo Bills going to be a lot of yelling and screaming in there because the Bills have come nowhere close to playing good football.
Long way to go, though, as the Bills run it back. Out across the 25-yard line. Rookie Al Edwards takes it. He's out to the 27. Now Kelly will come out pitching with a no-huddle offense. 1:51 to play in the first half. Total domination of the Denver Broncos. 238 yards offense to 84 for the Bills.
That's amazing. And Bobby Humphrey over 100 yards rushing. I mean, the Bills have done very little offensively today to help their defense.
Kelly from the shotgun floods the defense with receivers, stands in, and he's going to be in trouble as he's knocked down at the 20.
Again, great coverage by Denver.
Oh, they're really ready. Defensive coordinator Wade Phillips has everybody tuned to what the Bills are going to do.
Right back to the line of scrimmage they go.
Fletcher coming hard. Kelly stands in. Ball is tipped. Almost intercepted. It's on the field, incomplete. It'll be third down.
Randy Robbins was right there with Thurman Thomas, number 48. But this 4-7 defense that Denver is showing is giving Buffalo no opportunity to complete passes. They're doubling every receiver, Don.
It looks like the Broncos have 15 guys out there.
Yeah.
They're doubling everybody. They're playing with 11. Here's Kelly on third down. He needs 17. Open man, James Lofton. First down, Bills out to the 41-yard line. So the combination of Kelly to Lofton connects again. A big play on third down. They needed 17. They got 21, and the Bills call a timeout.
Kip Corrington on the coverage, and again, it looked like zone on top and man underneath, and Lofton got back there. Miami, another score now, 21-0 over Pittsburgh.
Giants extend their lead over Dallas to 14 points at halftime. A big surprise in Pittsburgh, where there's trouble brewing with no offense. Philadelphia has now rallied and gone out in front of Indianapolis. Tampa Bay continues to lead Minnesota. Doubleheader day on NBC Sports. Many of you will be seeing the Browns go to Kansas City to go against their old coach Marty Schottenheimer, now the head man of the Chiefs.
9 a.m. until 30 minutes after the game.
Scott Norwood getting ready for a possible field goal try. Toronto continues to lead Boston in American League Baseball. The Cubs over the Mets 2-0.
Lost there, and the Pirates win. They're presently guaranteed no less than a tie for the Eastern Division.
First down. Kelly stands in, throws it up the middle of the field. He gets his man down Smith, and then the Broncos come pounding on the ball. These Broncos are really tackling today.
But the Broncos are in the prevent mode here. They're going to make sure every reception is in front of a defender.
The Bills come out of this first half with points. It'll be a big step. Here is a throw, and it's dropped. Wide open for the interception was Elliott Smith. Kelly is really rough, so that time he gunned it, and the Broncos again had a man right where he had to be. It did stop the clock.
He's throwing on the run.
Hit him in a bad place, Trump. Right in the hands.
Ball is intended for Andre Reed, and he was not open.
Here's an up back, and it's taken by Don Smith as the Bills take it down to the 40-yard line. They go to their bag of tricks. 52 seconds to play.
Plenty of time. No reason to rush or hurry.
That's not a bad idea, though, with the clock running and 45 seconds to play. Here's an outlet pass, and Thurman Thomas takes his eye off the ball. Almost a good play to drop it, believe it or not, for this reason. There was defenders right there to nail him. He'd only gained about 2 yards, and the incomplete stops the clock. Second down. Kelly looks, dumps it off. This is Don Smith. He's going to be able to get out of bounds if he plays it right. He did not. Stayed in bounds. Now Kelly calls a timeout.
You never try to look at a running back and say he made the wrong choice, but Smith was trying for the touchdown there. Wyman Henderson finally makes the tackle. If he gets out of bounds, boy, they're in great shape. But this is a beautifully executed play. You see Smith standing right there on the right of the screen. Richer, 51. The offensive guard is out in front of him. Henderson just gets a glove on him. Well, I'm not so sure if he can stay on his feet, he doesn't score. But the important thing there is get out of bounds. You don't fight for inches. You try to save seconds.
Ball is spotted at the 24-yard line. You'll remember the difficulty they had kicking the field goal earlier. NFL Live is coming up with Costas, McDonough, and Simpson. So we have 31 seconds to play here in Buffalo. One of the biggest NFL crowds of the season, 80,000. Buffalo, a continuing leader of the NFL in attendance. Virtually every year they're either at or near the top. Out pattern, ball is caught. Look at that strike put on by an angry Elliott Smith. Al Edwards caught the ball. 16 seconds left. Kelly downs the ball, stopping the clock with 15 seconds to play.
And you see how important getting out of bounds, how much it would have helped there. Boy, if Smith had taken that ball out of bounds as opposed to going for that extra few feet, Broncos would be in a lot better shape.
Yeah, you wonder when you see a hurry-up offense like this go right through the other team, why they don't come out running it.
Well, that's because the defense is not playing the same mindset. Look at this. Can't get out of bounds there. That cost him a timeout. Smith catches the ball in bounds. That cost him a timeout.
They called Elliott Smith one a day in the spring and the summer drills. He was catching so many interceptions, but he missed that one, and now the Bills get an incomplete pass with 11 seconds to play, and they'll not chance anything else on third down. They'll try the field goal, thinking here if there's a bad snap, they can just down the ball and get another shot at it on third down.
For those of you out there who don't like the prevent defense, you just saw the prevent defense work.
Yeah.
You'll give them 3 points. You don't want to give them a touchdown.
Be interesting to see what the wind is still very strong, and the holder's a quarterback, Frank Reich. It's not inconceivable he could get up and throw it. It's third down. 11 seconds left. They go to the kick, and Norwood this time drills it up and good. So the Bills avert a first half shutout. They get the field goal from Scott Norwood with 6 seconds to play. It's a 14-3 game Denver. Denver went 80 yards the first time it had the ball today. A sustained drive, 12 plays. Bobby Humphrey in on the payoff end. Then they came back later. And it was Steve Sewell from just over a yard out for their second touchdown. Tonight, kick off the evening on NBC with the funniest and hottest news show of the season, Hull High. And make sure you have your McMillions game card from McDonald's, because playing the Buffalo theme song, Let's Go Buffalo, but Buffalo isn't going too much in this game. They moved the ball at times, but then something stopped the drive. Denver coming in on the road, playing its best game of the season without any question. The Broncos have been sound every aspect of the game.
Let's see Marv Levy waving furiously there on the sideline. Do you try an onside kick here? I don't think you gain anything with just 6 seconds left, but Marv Levy was waving furiously to Scott Norwood, the kicker.
Scott Norwood can probably bounce it down the field. Try to run out that clock. Bounces it down the field. Picked up by Orson Mobley. What a load he is to knock down. And that'll do it for the first half of play. So the Broncos go to the locker room with some big winnings, a 14-3 lead over the favored Buffalo Bills. We're going now to NFL Live in New York as we're ready to switch there into Bob Costas. Bob?
By Denver. It's going to take a major mind shift in the Buffalo Bills in order for them to get back in this football game.
Well, there could be some broken blackboards in there.
Yes, I'm sure there's some dents and some lockers. Yes, no question about that. But they've done very little. I mean, gaining yards for 3 points at the end of the first half is nice. But that's what the defense wants you to do. They'll give you the 3 points. If you look at the numbers, time of possession, total yards, yards rushing, first down, everything is the Denver Broncos. This is the way Buffalo played last Monday night against the New York Jets. Now, why Buffalo has played in his first half like they were out to lunch, I have no idea.
Well, Bobby Humphrey had a great first half. The Denver runner had 100 yards rushing, but Elway made some just sensational plays when there wasn't anything there. I remember that 3rd down and 6 play. Receivers were shut off. The rush was on. Off he goes in a 13-yard run to keep the scoring drive alive. Now you see the numbers. Thurman Thomas came in as the NFL's leading rusher with 315 yards through 3 games.
Oh, wait a minute. That's 20 carries, isn't it, for 100 yards?
Yeah,
that's
20 carries for Bobby Humphrey for 100 yards. He's getting 5 a pop. Terrific player, Bobby Humphrey. 2-time All-American for the Crimson Tide. There is Thurman Thomas. Do not discount this man.
Well, they got to get it going.
A weapon ready to explode at any time.
This opening drive of the second half for the Buffalo Bills is it. They're either in this game or out of it on this drive.
Treadwell sees the ball blow off the kicking tee. The wind, the flag's been straight out all day. It's a swirling wind blowing primarily across the field. Treadwell's been a terrific kicker for the Denver Broncos. As we mentioned, he went to the Pro Bowl. He's won the Broncos' last 2 games with field goals against Seattle and Kansas City on the last play.
That might be the first thing that's happened good for the Buffalo Bills today.
Treadwell moves into the ball, hits it downfield. A line drive could be tough to handle. It's picked up nicely at the 10-yard line by Don Smith. Bill's got a big return out of it as Smith is across the 40 and all the way out to the 47-yard line. So Buffalo on a line drive kick gets the very good return of 37 yards from Don Smith. And the Bills do indeed, Trump, start out with good field position on what you termed an all-important drive.
Absolutely. Atwater makes the tackle, and this is the way you set the tone for a half. When your special teams can get you great field position, and the offense goes out there and say, all right, now we got to get it done this time. There's Atwater finally getting him down.
So Kelly with a new formation, a power set right. He goes to Thurman Thomas, and another big play as Mecklenburg shot the gap. Also on the play was the nose tackle Greg Cragen. 71 made the head-on hit. Standout defense by the Broncos again.
Now the only explanation I can give for the lack of running in the first half is the replacement of Will Wolford. He's not in there. You got Parker, Glenn Parker, the rookie, playing left tackle, but that can't be all of it.
Kelly on 2nd down and 10, and out pattern. It's incomplete at the 41-yard line. Dennis Smith, an enforcer, got there just as the ball did, made the hit right at the opportune moment. The intended receiver was Thurman Thomas out of the backfield. So now the Bills find themselves 3rd and long, 3rd and 10.
And Denver has won this matchup every single down. There's Marv Levy. And Denver's coming in with the extra defensive backs, and Buffalo with the extra wide receivers. And this has not worked. Buffalo has gotten very little. There's Wade Phillips with
Lofton.
Brooks on the sideline.
James Lofton to the lower portion of screens, the guy that Kelly's been going to. Kelly's not going to anybody unless he can get it away. He does get it to Smith. And he's down to the 46-yard line as the Broncos are hitting 3 and 4 times on the tackle. Wyman Henderson, the right cornerback, made the first pop.
That's 3 downs,
short.
3 downs and out.
After starting at their 47-yard line. Vance Johnson is back. There he is, number 82, the Vance. Rick Tootin called in to punt. Buffalo changed punters after the debacle against the Miami Dolphins. Tootin hits it high downfield. And Vance is forces into a fair catch at his 12-yard line. So Johnson with a fair catch. The Broncos have the ball, but they start deep in their own end, open their play from scrimmage in the 3rd quarter.
It's going to be interesting if there's any defensive change here by the Buffalo Bills. Not personnel, but if they go to the blitz a little more and commit a few more guys to the line of scrimmage, which if they do, I think that's exactly what John Elway, Dan Reeves would like to see. Humphrey has just run up the gut an awful lot, over and through a lot of Buffalo Bills.
The offensive line blocking has been masterful by these Denver Broncos. Humphrey right back at it. Marker comes in as Humphrey is dropped for no gain. Ray Bentley, number 50, makes the stop. Marker down. Bills are signaling a hold. That's what Bob McElwee is signaling. It's usually better when he does it, the official ruling.
There's Walt Corey in the glasses and the hat. He's the defensive coordinator.
A lot of guys keeping charts over there. Referee's mic apparently not working. Bills are declining the penalty. 2-yard gain, so they'll go. Will the Broncos? 2nd down and 8. They lead 14-3 early in the 3rd quarter.
Audible here by Elway.
Humphrey. And he's very close to a 1st down as he got out to the 21-yard line. He'll be about a yard short. Ray Bentley and Darryl Talley, right side backers, made the stop.
Now the offensive line of the Denver Broncos really taking care of the center of this Buffalo Bill defense. Watch the center Karts and the 2 guards. Really doing a good job of shoving people all over the place. Nice little spot for Humphrey to run there.
He needs just over 2. That's a tough play call. They might throw. They go to Humphrey. He squirms, and did he get there? It'll be 10 on the spot. The linesman comes in, and it appears where he came in, Trump, he's going to have it. Looks like he's going to have it.
Yeah, you never know about these.
Jeff Wright, the nose tackle, had some big problems in the first half with Denver's offensive blocking, but he shed the block there and made the hit on Humphrey.
One of the things that, Buffalo's defense is a 1-gap defense. That is, it is a 1st down for Denver. It's a 1-gap defense. And a 1-gap defense is a defensive player is assigned a gap, and that's the one he's responsible for. Well, Denver has done a great job of audibling to the back of that slant. And Humphrey, when he gets to the center, there's nobody there.
So the Broncos now set up 1st down and 10. Elway, long ball, going for it, and it's intercepted, picked off by Kirby Jackson. He's across the 40 and out to the 49-yard line. Bruce Smith ought to get credit for that interception. He was in Elway's face, and he had to loft the ball. It hung, and Jackson was right on it.
Intended for Sewell. Excuse me, intended for Jackson. Mark Jackson in your right down. The ball underthrown. That's one of the few times that Bruce Smith has been a factor in this game so far. There you see right inside Perry. And that's Denver's 2nd turnover. Kirby Jackson makes the interception, and now the offense has got to get going here for Buffalo.
Temperature dropping a bit. It's in the 50s. Very good playing conditions, although that wind is going to affect long balls and long kicks. Bills pick up the blitz. Here's the throw. Thurman Thomas, you'll remember the one he dropped in the first half. He's right on this one, and he's out to the cross midfield to the 45-yard line. Fans calling for a late hit.
Yeah.
Michael Brooks knocked him down.
I think Buffalo can accomplish something with this kind of offense. That is, don't try to go deep. Just keep getting it to the running backs just over the line of scrimmage on the pass. That seems to be the open spot here in this Bronco defense.
Kelly, 2nd and 4. Another dump off. Thurman Thomas, both hands on the ball. He's ahead for a Bills 1st down at the 39-yard line of Denver.
You see, what's happening is the linebackers of the Broncos, watch Simon Fletcher. Well, you couldn't really see him, but they're dropping back about 12 or 14 yards. And I think Thomas will be open underneath that linebacker coverage a lot. Then he's got to break that first tackle.
Well, you have to think, Trump, the Bills took a lot away from that closing drive in the 2nd quarter when everything worked throwing the ball, setting up the field goal. He is going to pressure Kelly on these short drops. Another short drop. Pump fake. Now he's looking deep. He bought some time, but he's running out of it. Downfield throw, and he throws it away. He had a man in the general vicinity of the ball on the play. Keith McKellar at tight end.
I think his receivers ran the wrong patterns. Kelly pumped, and there was nobody in the area where he was pumping to.
You've done that, right?
Yes, I have. Marv Levy, he doesn't call the offense. Ted Marchabrota calls the offense. Hand signaled in from the sideline.
Marchabrota's come under some fire here as not having a creative offense. He had one of the best offensive game plans, both conceptually and in execution, that anybody's seen in a long time. Monday night against the Jets, when the Bills came out and destroyed the Jets. Kelly looks on second down. He's going to take it himself. Jim Kelly gets inside the 35-yard line. Dallas Cowboys hanging right in against the Giants. They just scored, did the Cowboys, in an Emmitt Smith run, and they trail 17-10. Miami, Pittsburgh got 6 points. What's happening here? As we check the Hertz 10-minute ticker. Detroit and Green Bay in a battle at Pontiac, Michigan. Eagles continue to lead the Colts. Buccaneers continue to lead the Vikings at Minneapolis. And here in Western New York, the Denver Broncos lead the Bills 14-3. Third down. Bills need just about 4. Kelly's in trouble. He gets out of it, lost the ball, picked it up, but they're taken out of field position for a field goal try.
Nobody to throw to. Absolutely no one. Townsend finally gets Kelly, but you can't blame this on Jim Kelly. Look at him look desperately all over the place. They are doubling every receiver. He has nobody to go to.
Rick Tootin on the field to punt now for the Bills. Hits a high spiral, a well-placed punt. They'll let it roll, and it does hop in. A touchback, and the Broncos will get it at their 20-yard line with 9 minutes and 29 seconds to play in the third quarter. Broncos holding to a 14-3 lead. So Elway and company set to go to work in a moment.
The Toyota versus the Isuzu standard pickup. If Earth were invaded by giant reptiles, which would be better prepared? Get out of here!
America's Wheels.
And we're set to go as the Broncos line up first and 10 at their 20. Sun breaks through, and the handoff goes to Bobby Humphrey. 2 tough yards for Humphrey, who's an upright runner, takes a lot of hard hits, but he comes right back. Jeff Wright, the nose tackle, stopped him, along with Darryl Talley, 56.
Not as upright this year as he was last year, in my opinion. He's got that forward lean a little bit, so the hits he takes are on his shoulder pads and not in his chest and in his stomach.
Humphrey coming off his 2 best career games back-to-back, 127 and 132 yards rushing against KC in Seattle. Now he's going to probably have his best game ever today. He had 100 yards in the first half. Hard throw by Elway, and a nice breakup by Kirby Jackson. Came right into the right moment. Knocked the ball away from Vance Johnson.
Don, there is something here on the positive side for Buffalo. They're shutting down the first down yardage of the Denver Broncos and putting Denver in a tough spot. That was a second down and about 8. And that's when you can go with the pass rush, although Denver is going with the 3-step stuff. Now, again, here's this formation that the Buffalo Bills have had great difficulty with. 4 wide receivers and 6 defensive backs on their side of the ball.
Third down. John Elway and the Broncos need 7. Big rush, and down to 3 ball. Buffalo has it at the 10-yard line, and that... Smith came in from the blind side and put the knockout punch on John Elway, freeing the ball.
Here's Bruce Smith right here, and it's just a bull rush that gets to John Elway and bounces the ball loose. Great quickness.
Darryl Talley recovers the ball.
Again, he goes around Gerald Perry like Gerald Perry is not even there. That's why you teach quarterbacks to hold that ball in 2 hands, Don. Elway had it in 1. It's knocked loose.
The Bills now at their deepest penetration of this game, starting this drive at just outside the Denver 10. Nice play fake by Kelly. Lots of time, but nobody open. Here's the rush. There's the throw. And he had nobody to go to again. Terrific defensive coverage by the Broncos.
Good play action fake. Held everybody at the line of scrimmage defensively, but coming into this game, you know, I think the Broncos were worried about Elliott Smith and Wyman Henderson, but watch the coverage. They're just, watch Andre Reed at the top of the screen. The defensive back falls, but Kelly never sees him. He finally just throws it away.
Now bright sunshine hitting the field as the Bills look on second down and goal from the 10-yard line. Kelly faking. He's looking. He's in trouble, and he's knocked down for a loss at the 12-yard line. A tremendous moral victory for the Broncos if they can limit Buffalo to a field goal or less on this drive. Reagan and Fletcher were on the stop.
Again, great pressure, but this is a coverage sack. And you see the cornerback Wyman Henderson, 24, had bump and run on James Lofton. Man, I'm telling you, this is as good a defensive effort as I've seen Denver make.
Very big down now. The Bills have it. Third down and goal from the 12-yard line.
A draw would work here. A draw would work here. There it is.
Down they go to the goal line. It's a touchdown. Trump, you had it all the way. A draw would work, and a draw it was with Don Smith on the payoff end.
That's the first time they've taken advantage of that defense with the extra defensive backs in the ball game. It was obviously an audible. Watch what happens. You see the two safeties switch. They run the trap up the middle, and you've got a 280-pound offensive tackle blocking Atwater. The draw trap works for the score.
So Don Smith comes in and does the job, and now a bad snap. This is big. And it's a 14-9 game.
Goodness.
This could loom large as the game wears on. Adam Linger was the snapper. It got through the hands of Frank Wright. But the Bills have a touchdown. They'll kick off in a moment.
When David and Lisa Edmondson needed life insurance, they came to see me. I'm Kent Spearman, their State Farm agent. I help the Edmondson...
Storm clouds looming in the distance. We could have more rain. There's been none during the game. There was heavy rain this morning. 7:53 to go, third quarter. Kickoff hit downfield. Coming up on it is Sammy Winder. Sammy finds a lane and is quickly shut down at the 30-yard line.
Don, here's the weakness of this defense, this area right here. So how do they get to it? They move this guy back here. He goes up here, and watch the block by Howard Ballard on Atwater. The two safeties get confused as to where the strength of the formation is. They catch him in mid-shift. Bam, he pops up through there and in for the score. They finally took advantage of the weakness of that defense.
Ballard, a 315-pound offensive tackle, took Atwater out of the play. Now let's see what Elway and the Broncos do. They go to the run. Here's Bobby Humphrey. Turns upfield, and Humphrey, as the Bills go hard for the ball, is out to the 39-yard line.
And a flag comes in, too.
Yep, another marker in on the play. Cornelius Bennett, 97, was on the tackle.
Holding.
Defensive holding. Whoa. Automatic first down. Coach Levy wants an explanation here.
Holding. 47 defense. Enforced from the end of the run. 5 yards. First down.
That's an interesting call. See if we can pick out what happened. Oh, there's 47, Kirby Jackson. I guess that's a hold, defensive holding. Whoa. He had his arm around Clarence Kay's waist, but man.
Marv Levy sees it go as a first down, an automatic on the defensive holding call, and the Broncos now have the ball out to their 43. Humphrey, open gap. Bobby Humphrey breaks it all the way down to the Bills' 40-yard line. The Bills have some defensive axioms. Number one, keep the opposition below 20 points. Number two, keep the opposition below 300 yards total offense. keep them to 100 yards or less rushing is number 3, and Humphrey had that in the first half.
Here's the counter. Look at the tackle and the guard pull this way. They block down, and after that little jab step, Humphrey's right up through there with very little problem whatsoever. Another big game. Boy, is he having a game.
Sensational. And right back to Humphrey. This time they're looking for him, and they get him at the 41-yard line. Loss of a yard. Right now, the Broncos are working with a wind somewhat at their back. It's a swirling wind, almost cutting across the field.
This time, Darryl Talley makes the tackle, but Bruce Smith is there. It's a double team by the tight end and Perry, and nobody touches Darryl Talley, and he's there to make the tackle.
Second down arises now. Second down and 10 for Elway and the Broncos. They lead the game 14-9. Led at halftime 14-3. Drop ball, little low. Vance Johnson couldn't get his hands on it.
You know, that's the one pass that John Elway throughout his career has had problems with. That's a feature of the run and shoot, you know, where you kind of dash a little bit to the left or right and then try to get it out to the underneath receiver, just running the drag pattern. And when he throws it badly, he throws it into the ground.
His coaches, Trump, say Elway's a man on a mission, had the best training camp of his career. Broncos, rather than being down after that Super Bowl blowout at the hands of San Francisco, are getting ready to go back if they can.
Yeah, but you know, the difference in this football team is it's no longer up to John Elway. Now they got Bobby Humphrey. Yeah. It used to be just totally up to John Elway.
Third down. They give it to Sammy Winder. He turns the corner, and Sammy's going to lose yards. Back to the 43-yard line. So the Broncos have to punt the ball.
Don, you just saw a picture of Mark Kelso making the tackle. We heard at halftime he broke his hand. He's out there in the second half playing with a broken right hand. You see that?
He's got one good one, though.
Yeah, well, yes.
Moran hits the ball beautifully down the field, and the Broncos have covered there, but it carries into the end zone. That swirling wind got it and took it in. So the Bills will take over the ball and have it 1st and 10 at their 20 with 5:24 to play in the third quarter. Stadium. The Bills now with the ball 1st and 10. Free ball. It's up for grabs. And the Broncos signal they have it. They do. The Broncos get the fumble recovery. Looks like Cragen was on it. Thurman Thomas fumbled the ball.
You know, Don, it looked like he never got it from Kelly. He never cleanly got that handoff. This is simple.
He never did get it.
No, it looked like he went too far outside.
Turnover count is now even, Trump. 3 each way.
Now watch where you see the jab step. What? No, Kelly puts it in there. That's just on Thurman Thomas.
He was looking at the defense.
Absolutely, he was looking at the defense. Each team now with 3 turnovers.
Long way to go, and they probably won't be the last. The 6 that are up on the board so far. 5:04 to play in the third quarter.
How about these numbers? Denver to this point has rushed for 161 yards. Thurman Thomas and the Buffalo Bills 34.
Now we'll see if the Broncos can capitalize on this big turnover. You remember the Elway fumble at the 10, and Buffalo subsequently scored its only touchdown. Big rush, open man. Running in the open field is Sammy Winder. Head down, Winder takes it to the 6-yard line, and he might have a late hit call.
They also kicked the flag, which might be an additional penalty.
Shane Conlon and Clarence Kay, 88K, 58 Conlon. Bad blood there. Last year when they played on a Monday night, Kay with a low block hit Conlon in the knee from the blind side, and Conlon was up.
Foul, hitting out of bounds, 58 defense. Half the distance.
Conlon said he was going to get Kay today, and Kay said, well, I'll be wearing number 88. He knows where to find me.
Sammy Winder lowers his shoulder here. Leonard Smith hits him. Shane Conlon.
There was a hit on the carrier, though. Winder. Kay came in from off the play to mix it up with Conlon. Conlon missed a month with the knee injury, suffered that game a year ago. And now he puts the Broncos in the driver's seat even more. Inside the 5, 1st down and goal. Winder and Humphrey, the runners. That's Sammy Winder, and he's in for a Bronco touchdown.
That's the same play that Steve Sewell scored on. Oh, I'm telling you, this offensive line of the Denver Broncos,
terrific.
They go back to Denver first class. Put them up front. You're going to see this.
George Henshaw is the man who coaches that offensive line.
Once again, you see the block here, trap pull, and you see Winder come right up in behind it. I mean, this is relatively simple, and it's the same one that Sewell scored on in the first half.
Extra point hit up and good by Treadwell, and the Broncos now lead the game 21-9. 23-21, and Denver finally won at 24-23.
14 points on turnovers, not bad.
Spinning kick, it's short. Here comes Smith. You'll remember he ran the last one out to the 47. And he breaks this one out to the 40-yard line. The kick return team giving the Bills good field position. Now we go to NFL Live in New York. Bob? Thank you, Bob. 21-9 is the count here in Western New York. Orchard Park, New York, nearby to Buffalo. As the Bills have the ball, they're trailing on their home field. Here's a draw play as they go to Thurman Thomas, and they've shut him down. He ran wild Monday night against the Jets. Every yard has been an effort for him today against this Denver defense. Greg Craig of the nose tackle and inside linebacker Michael Brooks were on the stop.
Don, you know, I've mentioned this is a one-gap defense. Watch what the nose tackle does. He takes this side of the center, and then he can run around the block by Kent Hull. See there? And he's there to make the tackle. That's a one-gap defense, taking the shoulder of that center.
Live action on 2nd and 9. Bills go to the run and get some yards as they're out to about the 44-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down. Jim Szymanski, the 10th round draft choice, the rookie, starting at right end. They've had some injury problems there. Alfonso Carricker out for the season, and Ron Holmes is out for this game with a muscle pull.
Well, that's after Thomas had 200-plus yards rushing last week. He has been no factor today. Humphrey, his 3rd straight 100-yard rushing performance.
Last week, the Broncos lost a top cornerback, Tyrone Braxton, for the season. Knee surgery. Doctors are optimistic that he'll be back playing again next season, though. Downfield throw. It's caught. Andre Reed is to the 39-yard line. 16 yards on the play and a first down for the Bills.
Randy Robbins makes the tackle. It looks like Buffalo is now getting some idea what to do with this nickel package that Denver has.
As we check the 10-minute ticker, Detroit extending its lead over the Packers. Philadelphia with just a 3-point lead over winless Indianapolis. Kelly on first down stands in. Here's a throw, a catch. That's Jamie Mueller. First time he's had his hands on the ball since that fumble in the first half. Fans looking for a late hit call. Brooks, a 235-pound backer from LSU, made the stop. Boston now within a run of Toronto. 5-4 in the 5th inning. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Joe Montana said after the Super Bowl that Denver defense was predictable. It was easy to move the ball against. They've changed a lot of things. The Bills have struggled against it all day. Swing pass. Mueller looking for room to run. On a 2nd down play, he lost 2 yards.
Great defense.
Broncos down.
Simon Fletcher was out there to make sure that the screen went nowhere.
Simon was shaken up. I think he's up, though.
Warren Powers makes the tackle, but that play was made by, Szymanski made the tackle, but just at the end of this play, you'll see, watch Simon Fletcher right there, 73. Mueller's got to avoid him. 2 blockers on Simon Fletcher, and Szymanski there to make the tackle for no gain.
Simon Fletcher is a big linebacker, 6'5", 245 pounds, great speed.
Not good in coverage, but another one of those pass rush specialists that Denver has, like Carl Mecklenburg on the other side.
Big guy seems to be okay as he goes off for a play or so. 1:40 to play in the 3rd quarter. Denver in the lead 21-9. He gets blasted here, Fletcher, as he tries to come back. Watch the block on him.
Yeah, it gets crowded out there.
Couple of them.
But he did make the play. Not the tackle, but he made the play.
Turned it in. That's right. Kept the contain, and now Kelly's forced to a tough down. 3rd and 11. Broncos come with a 4-man rush, but it gets through, and Kelly's lost back at the 45-yard line. Mecklenburg does the job. Touchdown machine, Carl Mecklenburg. He scored one last week on a 2-yard run on a fumble recovery of Craig.
Well, he takes advantage of the rookie Glenn Parker. Gets right up inside of him. Mecklenburg, as always, watch right to the left of your picture. The outside move, the swim with the arm over the top. And Mecklenburg is there before Kelly can set up to even look downfield.
Mecklenburg has designs, one Dan, possibly going to medical school. His father's a physician. Here's the punt downfield. It's caught in the wind. Could be tough to handle. And it'll go out of bounds at the 27. I asked Mecklenburg what he does in the offseason. He said, gets ready to play football again. He said, I'm in the football business year-round.
Lifting weights and running.
25-yard punt is all. 12th round draft choice out of Minnesota, Carl Mecklenburg. But he said he was drafted as a nose tackle.
Moving up the evolutionary ladder he is. Now he's outside linebacker.
Game 2 coming up today, a doubleheader day on NBC Sports. Big game, the Browns going against the Chiefs at Kansas City. Houston against San Diego. Coaches who face the Chargers rave about that team. They all predict the Chargers are going to win a lot of games this year. Jets at New England. Get your local listings for the game in your area. The doubleheader game as Humphrey tries to go wide and does.
Boy.
Dipping in and out. There's a lot of tackling late. This could be another late hit. Bennett hit him out of bounds.
Humphrey made something out of absolutely nothing there.
Marv Levy, the Bills coach, has a basic rule. He said, don't be dumb.
87 defense.
Don't be dirty.
First down.
There's not no 87 defense. There's a 97.
That's who it was, Cornelius Bennett. That white line you're supposed to let up.
The Marv Levy axiom, don't be dumb, don't be dirty. The Bills have now are starting up with a full-scale affair.
Yeah, and the two guys involved, Bobby Humphrey and Cornelius Bennett, gave each other a hug. Hey, that's the way the game is played. Everybody else is fighting.
They played together for the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, those two guys are friends. Bennett's not going to try to hurt his former Alabama partner.
We don't think he is.
Although I got to tell you, roommates have been known to take on each other once you cross these white lines.
That's right.
Brothers. If you're wearing the wrong color, you're a target.
Broncos have a brother act, Doug Waddell and Dave Waddell. The offensive lineman from Boston College. 23 seconds to go in the third quarter. And up. Humphrey weaving his way through the Buffalo defense is just remarkable. It looks like 3 or 4 people have an angle on him, and yet he keeps going and gets ahead on a first down carry for a gain of 8 yards. Leonard Smith, the strong safety, finally brought him down.
Yeah, but look what they do up front. They just shove these guys back off the ball, and Bobby Humphrey basically has his choice as to where he wants to run. See, they just stand people up and let the defense go where it wants to go. Humphrey makes the choice.
And that'll do it. Trump for 3 quarters of play. Denver the leader, 21-9, and we'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
With How High, it's hot. It's TV.
Back to live action. We open the fourth quarter. The Broncos in the lead and with the ball. Here's a handoff as Humphrey again shoots into the Bills defense and comes inside the 40-yard line down close to the 38. Humphrey 6'1", 201 pounds, a native Alabaman. 2 broken foots.
Or feet.
Feet, yes. Got broken. Same bone, actually, in the same left foot. Not the left feet, right?
Right. 2 breaks in the same foot. Look at it.
Here we are as he runs again. All day long. And a marker's down at the line of scrimmage on a first down carry.
Don, last year, Denver came into Buffalo, played them on Monday night, a premier football game that's holding against the Denver Broncos. This play will come back. And the Broncos rushed for over 200 yards. They're closing in on that 200-yard mark again today.
Dan Reeves was saying yesterday.
Holding, number 88. Offense, 10 yards, first down.
Holding call on Clarence Kay, the tight end. Reeves was saying yesterday, if you're in a must-pass situation against the Buffalo defense, he said you're in big trouble.
Yeah. Well, what Bobby Humphrey with his rushing yardage today has done has given Denver a lot of 2nd and 2s, 2nd and 3s. Those are great downs for any offense.
Humphrey breaks it inside the 40-yard line and down to the 37. First down and 20 play. Humphrey, like all the great ones, the more he gets it, the more he likes it. Getting stronger as the game goes on. He busts loose for a 12-yard gain, and even with 13:50 left, you get the feeling, Trump, this thing is ebbing away from the Bills. They just can't get anything going when they do get the ball.
Look at that double team block. Juriga and Cart 66 and 72 on the nose tackle. Jeff Wright, who was 6 yards down the field. He's basically the only guy they've given it to him, and they still can't stop him.
A year ago, the Broncos came in here on a Monday night and dominated the Bills. They come in today and dominate again. Here's the ball slapped back at John Elway by Cornelius Bennett.
That's about all the Buffalo Bills have left to do. Blitz their brains out for the rest of this game. Try to get the turnover. You see Smith coming 78, Talley coming 56, Bennett coming 97. Try to get the turnover. It's the only chance to get back in this ball game.
Good second look. Our producer today for NBC Sports is Terry Eward. Our director, Andy Rosenberg. The executive producer of NBC Sports, Terry O'Neill. With 13:24 to play. The Broncos with a 3rd down and 9 play coming up. Elway gets some time. Loops to an open man. Running free is Vance Johnson. He has the first down all the way down to the 16-yard line. So the Vance running free and a lead pass to Elway under pressure for a 20-yard gain.
Once again, here's this defense that has not worked, and here's the primary receiver. This is the man who is single in coverage, and Johnson goes over here and gets picked off. Elway has the time enough to look and wait for Johnson to clear through all of the mess out there. And you see Kirby Jackson, 47, not even close, a 20-yard gain. And boy, has this game plan worked. They have beat that defense, the nickel package of Buffalo, to death.
Humphrey darting in, darting out, turning the corner and getting down to the 14-yard line on a first down carry. And we're going to go back to NFL Live in New York now, and Bob Costas. Bob?
Don Albert.
Badly.
Yes, so does Ron Meyer.
Let's see what the Broncos go to now in this diverse game plan of theirs, attacking from every dimension. 2nd down and 8. Draw. Humphrey down to the 8-yard line. Gain of 6 or 7 yards on the play. And the Bills defense doesn't seem to have its usual pop now as Denver's taken it away, and they've also taken the crowd out of the game. Giants blowing away Dallas for a 2nd time this season. Miami doing the same to Pittsburgh. Dolphins will have a 1-game lead in the AFC East over Buffalo at day's end. Dolphins are going to 3-1 with that apparent victory at Pittsburgh today. Bills unable to stop. Draw plays. Sprint. Draw. Wag draw. Humphrey up the middle. Elway sets in the shotgun and calls a quarterback draw. And he's down to the 7-yard line. Looks like he's just short of a first down. It'll bring up 4th down. They'll kick a field goal.
Certainly a design play. Flooded the left side of the formation with wide receivers, and he runs the quarterback rollout to the right. Didn't work. Darryl Talley with the tackle. One of the few plays today that's not worked.
Game going by very quickly. A year ago, it'd be 3:45 when you had 10 minutes left in the game. It's 20 after 3 here Eastern time. Treadwell has it blocked. Cornelius Bennett, he can run. Cornelius Bennett in a live ball is going to go the distance for the Bills. So the defense will score a touchdown as Cornelius Bennett takes it all the way. 80 yards, no flag.
It looked like Nate Odoms was the guy who blocked it.
Norwood to try the point after. He'd bring Buffalo to within 4 if he hits it, or within 5, and he does. Now it looks like there's a penalty marker down also. Roughing the kicker it might have been, so they'll kick off after penalty yardage. Extra point is good.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. 28 defense. That penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
Cornelius, 80 yards for a touchdown, and this crowd has erupted now in the big defensive play.
Once again, you'll see the block. It's Odoms from the outside. Again, it's on Rick Dennison, 55. He was cut 3 weeks ago, brought back this week. Ends up being Cornelius Bennett's first touchdown in the NFL.
Now to live action, the kickoff downfield, taken at the 5-yard line. Winder breaks it, and Sammy Winder's out across the 25 to the 27-yard line, and again, very nearly a late hit. I was talking yesterday, Trump, at practice with Bruce DeHaven, the Bills special teams coach, and they stress blocking kicks by extending at the ball, not raising your arms. That gives people a window to get it in the air.
Well, you got a young man, Rick Dennison, who for years was a major contributor to this Bronco defense. Waived 3 weeks ago, brought back in the middle of this week. And that's the second block that has happened in that spot. Remember, Darryl Talley got inside and blocked the field goal before. Odoms this time gets it outside.
The Broncos had this crowd out of the game, but now they're right back in it. Humphrey hit, knocked down. Jeff Wright, the nose tackle, who's been knocked around a little bit today, makes a head-on stick. A gain of no gain. 2nd down and 10.
That may be one of the few tackles he's made all day. This time he jumps behind Keith Karts.
It was a full hit.
Yes, it was.
Humphrey protecting the ball. Both these defenses are hunting the football. This place is now a cauldron of sound. 80,000 making it tough on Elway and the Bronco offense. Denver leads 21 to 16. Timing throw. Elway tip ball. Intercepted. The ball's picked off by Leonard Smith. He's going to go in, and Buffalo takes the lead. Extra point attempt by Norwood is no good. He missed the extra point. And Buffalo now holds to a 1-point lead, 22 to 21. Even if they made it, a field goal could conceivably win it for the Broncos, but we've got a long way to go. The defense is now scoring.
So I'm standing in the checkout line, and this really attractive woman sees I have Kellogg's brand.
Big things are happening fast here in Buffalo as the Bills have scored twice on defensive touchdowns and taken the lead. Now they kick off again. Vance Johnson dancing. He's in trouble. Here's a penalty marker down. Bills have really ignited this whole place. The team and the 80,000. Legal use of hands on the kick return by Denver. So Coach Reeves' team will be way back in their own end to start a drive. They're down by a single point with a lot of time left.
Illegal block in the back. Number 6.
Here's the tip pass by Leon Seals. 96 is the man who gets his hand up. Leonard Smith there to make the interception. And now the turnovers today, 12 points produced for Buffalo. Defensively, 2 missed extra points.
Big block on the return by Shane Conlon. And Leonard Smith goes in. And right after Cornelius Bennett went in on an 80-yard return of a blocked field goal. Elway unable to call signals, looking to the referee for relief.
Yeah, now wait a minute. Now Buffalo's here is encouraging the fans to do that, and that's not smart, because they'll stop the 45-second clock, and Denver can stand there forever. The defense can't encourage the crowd. Now Shane Conlon is telling them to quiet down. That's going to help a bunch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
They get the message.
Yes.
Has been requested to assist in quieting the crowd. We appreciate your cooperation.
Whether or not he'll get their cooperation remains to be seen. John Elway was talking about the difficulty of all the audibles they like to call in a stadium as loud as this, and there's none louder than Mile High. If the Bills were out there, the crowd in Mile High would take an offense out of the game on the other side.
But they worked out in the bubble this week in Denver just in case this happens, so they'll go on a silent count. Should not be a factor.
Probably to Humphrey. He's the lone setback in the ace backfield, the ace alignment. Fumble. Elway got it.
No,
Buffalo has it.
Bennett.
The noise, and it might have been a count off on the snap. I think he might have gotten the snap before Elway was ready for it.
Well, it looked to me like the center, Keith Karts, he had a big block to make on Jeff Wright, and it looked like he moved too quickly.
Virtually no game clock time has elapsed, and Buffalo's in position to score its 3rd touchdown.
Yeah, best thing that's happened to Buffalo is the offense hasn't taken the field.
Right. Handoff. Touchdown, Kenneth Davis. Absolutely unbelievable what's going on here.
That's 2 touchdowns in about 12 seconds. Okay.
Norwood ready to kick yet another extra point try. He's missed 2 today. He gets this one.
Amazing.
And he extends Buffalo's lead to 8 points. A very, very important extra point. Denver has to score a touchdown and a field goal to win now.
That's 19 points now produced by Buffalo because of the turnovers. 19 of the 29 scored. Again, we got to go back to the fumble. Watch the center, Keith Karts. He's got a key block, and it looks to me like he pulls out too quickly. Never gets the snap cleanly up to John Elway and Cornelius Bennett there to make the recovery. Boy, is that 2 big plays in a row? Picks up the block field goal, runs it in. I don't know if I've ever seen a game turn this quickly, this much.
I don't think I have. Absolutely astounding. Buffalo scored 3 touchdowns in 1 minute and 17 seconds. 77 seconds. 3 touchdowns. 2 by the defense. Spinning kick short coming up on his Vance jump. He got a head of steam. And he's across the 35 out to the 36. And there's still 9 minutes and 2 seconds left to play in the game. So Elway has a lot of time to work. Broncos down by 8. 5 Denver turnovers today, though. A minute and a half ago, Denver led this game 21-9. Minute and a half on the game clock. Now they're trailing 29-21. It's been unbelievable. Crowd noise is unbelievable also. Elway gets the play off. He's got time. Throws to Bobby Humphrey, and Shane Conlon drills him.
If the Buffalo Bills can't stop him here with all this adrenaline pumping, they can't stop him. I don't think this defense can be any higher emotionally than it is right now.
Defense is going to say to the Buffalo offense when they go out, see if you can hold them.
Yes. Just get us the ball. We'll score.
That's right. Elway runs out of time and throws the ball away.
Seals tipped that ball again, Don.
Yeah, he did. Leon Seals, who's had a tremendous season from the first day of August practice. The left end from Jackson State. Dr. Sack. He's got that in his license plate.
I think I'd pick him in a jump ball, too. He's been up there today. Watch again. Seals right out there. No, the ball was not tipped. Take it back.
Elway, 10 of 20, 149 yards. He's been intercepted twice. Bills jamming the front. Smith left early. Could be a free play if John Elway can get away, and he can't.
That'll come back, though.
Bruce Smith is saying he was drawn offside.
Of course he would.
He did. Apparently he was.
Number 60 on the offense. No play. No play.
Number who?
I couldn't hear it.
Let's see if we can pick up the infraction.
False start. The offense.
Oh, yeah.
No
You
play.
see Gerald Perry.
Third down.
Gerald Perry, number 60, kind of rocking back there to make sure that he can get a shot on Bruce Smith, and because it's a dead ball foul, the rocking back, the sack doesn't count. Well, this is the stuff that's made John Elway famous. Somehow he gets his team back into the game.
They'll be back in it. He's now doing the snap count with his foot.
Smith.
John Elway, sacked by Bruce Smith.
Total incomplete. Destruction from the right side. Bruce Smith.
Now you see why Gerald Perry was trying to get out of his stance a little earlier on the last play.
See why Bruce Smith was the #1 player picked in the NFL draft when he came out. Horan hits a good punt against a lot of pressure. Wynn holds it up. Chris Hale fields it. And he's down at the 44-yard line. Little defensive back from USC. Calling Bruce, better off call him boss.
The Mitsubishi Galant has won major awards in both Japan.
Bruce Smith outside Gerald Perry. Second sack of the day. A nice little sack dance. He could use some work.
That might need some work. Not a dance, but from the 3-point, this guy is a Deacon Jones. Thurman Thomas, both arms on the ball as the Broncos try to strip it. Bills looking to take time off the clock. It wasn't that long ago. It didn't appear they'd have enough time to come from behind. They were down 21-9. A minute and 17 seconds of elapsed time on the game clock, and the Bills had taken the lead, scoring 3 touchdowns in 77 seconds, 2 by the defense, 1 by Cornelius Bennett and 1 by Smith. Leonard Smith and John Elway and Coach Reeves now going to their disaster plan. Throw deep. still only down by 8 with 7 to go. 7 minutes. Here's McKellar of the Metzlars, the tight end, getting his first reception of the day. He has a first down. So the Bills will be huddling at their leisure now as Kelly looks over to his coaches. A 10-yard gain on that play. We look at the 10-minute ticker. The Giants continue to lead the Cowboys now. It's a final score. The Giants have defeated the Cowboys 31-17. The Giants 4-0 on the season. Miami sends the Steelers down to another loss.
2 field goals, the only scoring by Pittsburgh again.
Vikings with the lead now with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. First down Buffalo. They're going to run it. Thurman Thomas to the 39-yard line. Michael Brooks was on the stop for the Broncos. Broncos next game. Here's the 7th inning score now. Toronto in position to move to within 1 game of the Red Sox in the AL East, leading at Fenway 7-4 over Boston. 5:50 to play in the game here. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy as Jim Kelly talking things over in the huddle. They'll run the clock down as far as they can. Second and 8. Thurman Thomas. Broncos shut him down.
Oh, you
sure, marker down, Trump.
Yeah, you sure can't fault the performance of the Denver Bronco defense today. Holding offense. The Denver Bronco defense has shut down the league's leading rusher in Thurman Thomas. They have given Jim Kelly very few receivers to throw to. And again, look at here. Mecklenburg on the outside turns it in. Munford is there to help. Very little gain and the hold.
Number 51, offense, 10 yards, second down.
There's Wade Phillips, defensive coordinator. Just a lightning minute and 17 seconds have made the Denver Broncos tack away. They got no wind in that minute 17 seconds.
Coach Levy has seen a dramatic turnabout. He's been around this game a long time. He was one of the coaches on George Allen's team that went against the Dolphins in the Super Bowl back in '72. Pitch back. Thurman Thomas running hard on second down and 17. He's inside the Broncos' 45-yard line. Denver returns to Mile High Stadium to play the Cleveland Browns their next time out. Bills will be home next Sunday to go against the LA Raiders.
Well, Don, I think Ted Marchibroda is the offensive coordinator here, and they're going with the extra wide receivers on Buffalo's side. Denver coming with the extra defensive backs. I think I try that trap up the middle again. There's Ted Marchibroda in the faded blue jacket. I'd look for Thurman Thomas here right up the middle. I don't think I'd throw it here if I'm Kelly.
Well, we'll find out as he sets in the shotgun. Third down, they need 11. Here comes the rush. Kelly dumps it over the middle. He's got Lofton, and he's short of the first down. Denver had him hemmed in. At the 30 now, a marker comes in from off the play again. The back judge fired in a yellow flag. Ooh, if it's a face mask, that'll be a first down.
Oh, wait a minute. If it's a face mask, they go back from the spot of the play, Don.
And they'll rule on that Howard can be 5, 10, or 15, depending on the intent.
Unless they're saying it's after the play.
Coach Reeves not pleased, looking for an explanation.
Face mask, 5 yards.
Now, wait a minute. That should be where the ball is snapped from, not from there, I don't believe. That can't be from the spot of the foul.
Let's see.
They can't get the yardage and the penalty.
There's a face mask, all right. It's on Alton Montgomery.
This is a tough choice here.
I don't think it'll be enough to give him a first down. Well, it might. Well,
Not an automatic first down.
That's right. It is not an automatic first down. And we are told it.
An automatic first down.
We are told it's from the end of the play. Even with the penalty, they're going to be, they're going to give him the first down.
That's just one of the things Coach Reeves has seen today that he doesn't like. This game turned in a flick of a finger. Bang, a blocked field goal attempt. Going to spin it 80 yards off to the races for a touchdown. The Bills were back in it. Right after that, tipped ball by Seals, intercepted by Leonard Smith. 38 yards, touchdown Buffalo, and they took the lead. Then a fumbled snap by Elway. Play later, Kenneth Davis in, and the Bills extended their lead with a now to lead by a 29-21 count. Greg Tragan makes the stop on Thurman Thomas.
You know, I think there are a lot of Dan Reeves is now exhorting his team all the time out on the defense. A lot of people question the character of the Buffalo Bills. Some people have called them the bickering Bills. But a win like this, come from behind win like this is a character win for Buffalo.
Dan Reeves, 46 years old, in his 10th year as coach of the Broncos. He knows about as much about Super Bowls as anybody does. He's been in 8, either as a player, an assistant coach, or a head coach with Dallas and Denver. This telecast is presented by... It was the most dramatic minute and 17 seconds. They've been playing since 1960, as have the Broncos.
Sabres don't even score that quickly.
Down they go to the 25-yard line. Mark Munford.
Oh, it's happened before.
That was when the Broncos had the striped socks that were vertical. Had that burning in midfield.
Played in War Memorial Stadium. You know, I have a feeling at the end of the third quarter, there are a lot of fans here at Rich Stadium that were ready to get up and leave. They're back in their seats, Don.
And I don't think any equal records. In the playoffs, home field will be decided by the first tiebreaker head-to-head. Nothing there as the Broncos shut down the run, but the Bills content to run the clock, and now we have a timeout called by the defense.
Well, you have to think that Denver has to go for the punt block. And then you see if John Elway's got magic for the third week in a row.
They got Norwood out there, Trump. He's got some wind behind him. He might try a long one.
Or the pooch punt. I think you have better protection actually for a punt from field goal formation than you do from punt formation. And you don't want to give the Denver Broncos any chance here whatsoever.
3:42 left to play in the game. Buffalo 29, Denver 21.
He can punt.
He's got a swirling wind behind him. It's very tough to play. He will get some help if he goes for it, and he does. Wide. No good.
And, 47-yard. You know, Don, the downside of that is that Denver now gets the ball at the 35-yard line.
With 3:37 left to play. Fireworks aren't over in this one.
Thing stays out. Again, I think Norwood, they practice a lot here in Rich Stadium.
Wow, that's close.
And he's trying to play the wind. And that's the second time today he's hit the uprights and missed 2 field goals.
If he'd have hit it, it would have given Buffalo an 11-point lead, and Denver would need 2 touchdowns to win. It is now they could conceivably win with a touchdown and a field goal, but that'll take some doing against an inspired Bills defense that has turned this game around. Tip ball
again.
Leonard, it was Seals who got it. Leon Seals.
That's absolutely amazing. I mean, Leon is tall and got a big wingspan, but you also got to be pretty darn lucky to get your hand in the right spot. Oh, it's unbelievable.
Second down. Shuffle pass. Free ball.
No. Incomplete pass.
Oh, it'll be incomplete. It's ruled forward pass. They almost picked it up in the air. That thing was hanging.
Then it's a completed pass or an interception. Ball was intended for Winder. And you see Bruce Smith get right in there. Almost strips it away. But the same rules apply for the receiver. Both feet must be down and clear and complete control of the football. Winder wasn't even looking when Elway threw it.
3:29 to play, and with 3rd and 10, Elway sets in the shotgun. Hard throw, but he brought it in on the one hop. He has to go for it now.
Absolutely. He completed a 4th down pass in the win against Kansas City, 4th and 10. He's going right back to the huddle. You see the intended receiver, the primary receiver is Vance Johnson. James Williams right there in coverage.
Against all odds, John Elway stands in. 80,000 making noise. 3rd down, 4th down and 10. Downfield, he's got a man, and Elway hits Ricky Nattiel at midfield. 1st down, Broncos. A 20-yard gain, a sensational play by the Broncos.
Kelso and Leonard Smith were there to make the tackle. I noticed they're helping Gerald Perry now. No, actually, they have Hamilton in at offensive left tackle. Perry is out.
Hard throw. Is it a catch? Look at that. That was good for a 1st down. Nattiel again. He's had some problems with a knee, Ricky Nattiel, a tremendous receiver from Florida. 11-yard gain and a 1st down. So the Broncos marching through the Bills. Denver trails 29-21. Another fastball by Elway. Down to the 25-yard line. This one's to Mark Jackson, number 80. 14-yard gain.
They got to get as many plays off before the 2-minute warning as they possibly can here. That's a flag on the offensive left tackle. That stops the clock momentarily. Hamilton rocked out of his stance. 69 White.
False start. 69 offense.
But actually, that doesn't hurt Denver. It'll stop the clock, but it'll start as soon as they put the ball down, so they have to be right at the line of scrimmage and ready to go. 2 minutes and 14 seconds. They can get one more play here before the clock stops, and it's started. It hasn't started yet. Within the last 5 minutes of the second half, it won't start till the snap.
Elway goes to a draw. Winder running, and very well. And Sammy Winder's finally taken down at the 24-yard line. That'll take it down to the 2-minute warning. Denver out of timeouts. Buffalo has 3, and the last thing the Bills want to do at this point is stop the clock. 2 minutes to play. Followed by Perry Mason, the case.
Oh, good
Screen
play.
pass. On the run is Winder. He's inside the 10 and taken out of bounds at the 5-yard, the 8-yard line. And they use only 9 seconds. Leon Seals brought him down.
Ran that play down from behind. You see the blitz, 56 tally. They take advantage of it. Sammy Winder gets a little hit on him. 47 also was in there on the blitz. Kirby Jackson.
Keith Hart's out in front blocking.
Yeah, Leon Seals all over the field today.
So the Broncos out of timeouts. Stop the clock. And now they have it 1st down and goal at the Bills' 7-yard line.
Look at this, 11 guys at the line of scrimmage for the Bills defense.
Draw, nothing.
Bad call.
Darryl Talley, number 56, read it all the way and stopped Sammy Winder for a 3-yard loss.
This is going to take a lot of time off the clock. I think that's what Buffalo wanted to do, is put as many guys at the line of scrimmage, make Denver think they can run it. Good defensive call by Walt Corey.
There's a throw. Oh! Touchdown, Broncos. Elway guns the ball into the end zone to Ricky Nattiel, and Denver is now down 29-27 with the extra point attempt coming up and 1:25 to play.
That was James Williams, the rookie 1st-round draft choice in coverage, and frankly his coverage was pretty darn good. Somehow, he's going to Natil all the way. Watch this catch. Not bad, huh?
Natil's made some big plays for the Broncos. Redwell knocks the extra point through, and may very well be going for the onside kick. 1:25 to play, and the Broncos are back to within 1.
Is anything they're going to do here?
Here it comes. They've worked hard on this.
Uh-oh.
Ball. Buffalo has it. Metzelaars, who once scored 45 points in a college basketball game, goes high up into the air and comes down with a rebound.
Boy, from the kicking team's viewpoint, that's exactly what you want the ball to do. You kick it down into the ground so it can't be free caught. And if you're hoping the ball is a good high bounce and rattles around some hands. Treadwell does it very well. But you're right. The jump ball goes to certainly the tallest player as a tight end in the NFL.
There it is. Big play by Matt. Ball was up for grabs, and Metzelaars comes down with it. Thanks for the help in the booth to Larry Pollock, Terry Holler, Michael Gluck, and Steve Solomon. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Terry O'Neill. Our producer today, Terry Ewert. Director Andy Rosenberg. Associate Director John Gilmartin. As the Broncos are now powerless to stop the clock. A most unusual game turned by the Buffalo defense. So Coach Reeves and the Broncos getting set for the long trip back to Denver. They'll be at home against the Cleveland Browns in their next game. And the Bills will be back here at Rich Stadium next Sunday. They'll hook up with the LA Raiders.
Now, this one goes down in my scrapbook. This is the biggest turnaround I've ever seen in as short a time as it happened.
That's it. The Bills come back to win it. Down at halftime, 14-3, down 21-9 in the fourth quarter, and they win the game 29-28. Coach Levy, in his long years in football, I'm sure this has got to be a hallmark game for him also, certainly as a head coach. So at the final score, Buffalo 29 and Denver 28. Stay with us for NFL Live in Game 2 of our NFL doubleheader.
Final score, Buffalo 29, Denver 28.
For Bob Trumpy, this is Don Crickey. Glad you could be with us in Buffalo. There's more football coming up on NBC Sports.